Hello and welcome to Steam to Live the Dream. And today we are talking about, I did a portion where I talked about the intro. So if you want to know more about what Steam to Live the Dream is, go back and watch the 6-minute intro. But we're going to really just dig in now to what our topic is. What is your focus? I was sitting the other day and I was on Instagram and I was watching a video. And in me watching the video, it kind of got me in this headspace. As women, there's this weird space that we are put in when it comes to what we should be positioning our lives for. There is the thing that our grandparents and our parents and all those things kind of push on us, that especially if they grew up in a certain type of way, they viewpoint our ambitions and endeavors in such a way that they may not see or understand what it is that we're trying to do. So when we try to become ambitious and set our focuses on trying to build something, they're like, why don't you just get a job and get married? But what if you're more than just getting a job and getting married? Several years ago, I did a video that I don't know whether I linked it here, but I may end up relinking it, where I talked about being that independent woman and how it's almost scoffed upon to be that independent, self-assured woman in some ways, because of the fact that certain groups view you as being hard and being unapproachable, and sometimes you're looked at as being lesbian and all that kind of stuff, because your focus is not on relationship guy. And I was listening the other day on Instagram to this, and I hope that I can post this and people understand it. I may not put this on the podcast because of this, but I'm going to play the footage that really kind of initiated part of this conversation. It's 2 parts. I'm going to play the first part that talks about self-love and relationship with yourself.
Is not when two half of a whole get together. It's when two wholes get together. It's beautiful when you truly give yourself time to love yourself. And then because you love yourself, you know your worth. You know what you deserve. And then you're freely able to love that person. And it's a beautiful dance. You loving yourself, you loving the one you love, and then the one you love loving you back. Isn't love grand? Love is a beautiful thing. You bet.
Now, that was the video that was one of the videos that initially started this process. Now, with that being said, we are kind of put in a time of, if you love yourself, it's viewed upon as one of 2 things. Either you're being selfish because you're loving on yourself, meaning you're not allowing everybody else to be or dictate what and how you operate in your surroundings, meaning you may be in a relationship, but you operate independently. Now, this can be wrong depending on what kind of relationship you're in. For instance, I'm a Christian woman, and being a Christian woman, if I am in a relationship, the way that I've been taught under Christian understanding is I am in a relationship with you, but I do not belong to you until you marry me, okay? And because I don't belong to you until you marry me, I have the self-assuredness and self-awareness that I need to take care of and continue to build myself until said person marries me, or you're going to have a whole lot of problems. Most people try to become attached to somebody, give them all the benefits of being married, and then they wonder why they never get married or don't get respect when they do get married. The fact of the matter is, you must love and take care of yourself in the wholeness of who you are before you get into that relationship. That's what she was talking about. You must be whole, because two whole people can't come into a relationship. And that also relates to business. If I don't know what I'm doing and I'm trying to bring people into what it is that I'm trying to create, I'm now being unfocused on how to develop and to lead who I'm bringing in. And the funny part about this, all through school, all through business, all through every time I tried to do job interviews, what they always said, what are your leadership skills? And all through school, somehow I always ended up being the one person they threw at the lead of every table, every business meeting, every group project. You go do the lead. I'm like, I'm over here trying to, you do it. Why I gotta do it? It's like people saw in me a leader before I saw it in myself, because I was not looking for that. But as I've grown and developed as an adult, I'm like, I can see the leadership there, but I also understand there's a certain level of focus. And when you are a person that is focused, you have to understand where your focus lies. And you have to be a whole person in order to understand how you're going to operate in these areas, because if you don't, your focus will be taken off at the drop of a dime. I was listening to a minister's talk yesterday, and he was making the point of saying that, telling somebody they were a conglomerate, meaning they have multiple parts and multiple pieces to themselves. They're not going to create everything that they develop, but they have vision. And because they have vision, they need to pull in the right pieces and ordinances in order for all these pieces to come together. You have to be a whole person in order to be able to do that. And sometimes that looks like you being selfish to focus on that thing, when the rest of the people around you are looking at you like, what's she doing? Why she ain't talking? Why she not? All she ever do is focus on her computer, her phone, her tablet. She don't never do nothing. She ain't ever. You know how many people tell me I don't ever am working on nothing? Because they don't understand what this is. I can't tell them what this is because they don't understand this. But when you are focused and taking that time to be a little selfish, it can be viewed by external people that you are operating in selfishness. It's not that you're selfish, it's that you are whole enough to understand, I need to focus my energy on getting to my goal, because if I'm not focused on getting that goal, you or anything else related to you are a distraction to me receiving what it is that I'm supposed to be receiving in this season of my life. And if you ain't moving me towards it, you're a distraction from it, and you have to be removed. That is why, as women, we have to stand our ground when it comes to what is portrayed as what we need to be doing in certain seasons. That's why the strong, independent woman that has whole in herself, whose focus is on what she's developing, can sometimes be asserted as she hard, she this, she that. She don't want no relationship. Why she don't want no relationship? Which, in fact, brings me to this.
As women, you gotta find somebody. You gotta find somebody somebody immediately. When you're in your 20s, when you're in your 30s, you gotta find. If you don't find somebody, you're an old maid. Nobody wants you. I can guarantee you, ladies, if you love yourself and you find out who you are, God is not going to let you down. He's going to give you whatever you want, whatever that fulfillment is. What makes a beautiful relationship? We are taught as women.
So with that being said, sometimes what it takes is the understanding. And if you focus, I love the clip of Sierra. I do not know if I will be able to find it, but it's a clip of Sierra and she's talking about her focus when she met her husband. Let's see, because I don't have much time to do this.
This is the quickest way to make extra money from home. Listen, it's not Amazon FBA. It's not Shopify. It's not Drop. Your ring is really... Oh, you're so silly. Through the journey. What is the prayer? Is there... What is the... Loving myself, firstly. And I had to, commit to that idea. Let me love myself. Let me get myself in the right place, so that, I can, love myself. If I love myself, right, then I believe I can get the love that I deserve. I'll have love. I'll be loved the way that I deserve. And I can also be clear enough to love the way I'm supposed to love as well. As far as praying, I did have many times where I prayed. When you're in that space with just you and your baby, my baby boy, my little juicy man. So cute. Forever juicy man. Gosh, when he gets older, he'll be like, Mom, all right, lose that name. Or maybe not. It might work. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, but when it's just me and him, I'm very specific because it's not only about me, but it's also about him now. So I can't play around. There's no more experimenting. Like, I thought I was going to be single for 4 years. I had that in my mind. I was like, and I don't know why that number was 4 years, but I was really ready to take my time and be patient and let love really fall in place the right way, because I desire something new. I desire something different. I desire to be loved to the highest capacity. And to be loved the way that I felt I deserved. So when I prayed, I'll tell you a few things that I did pray. I prayed for a God-fearing man. I prayed, oh God. I prayed for discernment. I prayed for wisdom, to really learn from the wisdom that I'm gaining through the experience that I'm going through. I prayed for a man that loved kids. Because obviously me having my son, that was, if you're going to love me, you got to love him. I prayed for a man that was worldly as well, because I love to explore. So someone that's going to edify my world is important to me. I was ready to level up. But I can go on and on. I prayed many different things. Wow, but you got all the things you were praying on. God is amazing. Good. God is good, but I look at life. Good, but sometimes you pray for something and God be like, that's not really what you need. I'm going to give you what you really need. But you know what? I did pray for what I needed too. Oh, that's good. That's important, right? Yeah. We can want love, but what does that mean? I think we have to be really specific about what we're attracting to our lives, because love can look different in different scenarios. Yeah. And in different people. So we gotta be really, that's why I think you have to be specific. Sometimes you need time by yourself. You do. Yeah. And I had the best time at that moment, just rolling with my son. I was like, let's go. I gained 60 pounds. 60? I was like, yeah. What? I was like, yes. And I said I was never going to. Oh, it was all everywhere. I didn't like the hips that came with that. What were you eating? Everything. At first I was like, I'm on like, do good. Then all of a sudden, like 5 month mark, I was like, let's just get it. Oreos, what's up? Cheeseburger, let's go. French fries. I'm pregnant, so it's cool. It's all good. And then I was like, I'm not going to do that again, ever, 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 when I have my next child. And then with Sienna, I gained 65 pounds. But I guess my point is that when I was on that, where's about to go with that? When I gained my, 60 pounds, and it was me and little, Juicy Man, I was like, Mama got to do what Mama got to do. I was like, I'm going to focus. I'm going to work. Part of loving myself was me also working out and taking care of myself. So I revved up my training plan, like aggressively, met with my nutritionist. I just focused on me so heavy. I focused on like really figuring out how I wanted to get better. I had so much fun with Future. He was like my teddy bear, so he slept with me way longer than they would suggest any parent to sleep with their babies. We went to like 11 months, because once Russ came into our lives, like, okay, we gotta switch this up. Like, Future can't be sleeping in the bed all the time. But Russ was so patient. He was so sweet, because the sweetest thing is, and I won't get emotional, but when he came into our lives right away, changing diapers, we were like easing Future out of sleep like into sleep training. Like we would have this, like you have a little pack and play, you can move it to the room with you. Yeah. So he would sleep in the room with us for a while, and then I'm like, okay, Russ is so patient right now, and this is great, but I don't think this is a good idea for us to keep doing this for a long time. Yeah. But we put our heads together, and we trained him together, and that was hard. Good 7 days of him just crying, before he used to go to bed.
I hate that process.
Oh my gosh.
You know what that is? So you have to. So the thinking is that you got to put the baby in their room and you let them cry.
Train him together, and now we know what to expect. We get to have time for ourselves.
Yeah. By the way, happy early Mother's Day.
Yeah.
See pieces.
Yeah.
And don't really understand the hard times and the times.
Oh my gosh.
Was there people? Because I know you have a pretty strong girl crew. Like you have great friends.
So I've known Yoli since I was 16 years old, but
the whole time, and then that being rocked that's
was real, because that's what I knew. And then also when you're living your life in front of the world, you kind of feel like a failure. Like I feel like, oh Lord, what they gonna say about me now?
Yeah, but
Lord,
you can't let people think that.
No, but I mean, but it's not so much about people think, but that adds more onto the.
Would you say that it's things that you did or choices you made that contributed to being in bad places? And of course,
absolutely.
I think that's enough, but I didn't quite get to the clip I was listening for. But she talked about when she got to a place where she was focused. When we focus on what it is that we are seeking to desire, to discern, to walk into, my focus needs to stay right there. If I'm focusing on business, then I need to be focusing on my health, my nutrition, how am I walking into it? What am I doing in order to get into it? How am I relating these things? What are these things going to look like? What are all this type of stuff? People are wondering, why is she focusing on? You ain't been on a date in how many years? I'm about to tell you how many years it's been. 10. I ain't been in a relationship in 10 years. Now, I've had other relationships, meaning friendships and all of this. And I don't mean male friendships. I don't have friendships like that. There was a guy that tried to get close to me, but because I've noticed that men that try to get close to me, their intent is that they want a relationship with me. You got to be a special person for me to let you past go. Because 9 times out of 10, I've discerned within the first 3 hours of conversation whether I want to keep talking to you or not. If your intent is immediately to tell me anything that is not something I'm interested in talking about, or you start badgering me and I'm not interested in you, if you realize that I'm not interested in you, and there are always signals to let you know if I'm interested or if I'm not interested in you. You do too much, gotta go. But with that being said, I don't entertain relationships like that. You've got to be special for me to actually entertain you in a relationship. I have to see the potential that you're going to take me where I need to go. And that's not from a place of I'm using you to take me where I need to go. That's I have a trajectory for my life and you're coming alongside me and we're going to walk towards it together. Not the element of me just being like, I need to go out here and speed date or date and just date because I need to date because I'm bored and I need a man. I never really felt like I need a man. I desire companionship like any woman does. Do I want marriage? Absolutely. But when the timing is right for it, all things will come into alignment for that thing. I need to focus my energy on what I'm called to do. Meaning, if I got a book to put out, then guess what? The book needs to come out. This morning, I was listening to the prayer call from my coach, and she said, if you got a book, that book need to come out now because there's people that need to hear it now because there's things that need to come into alignment. If you got the focus, if you got the business training, if you got the financial training, if you got the alignment, well, yeah, I got it. So guess what? My focus is on bringing these things into alignment right now for the book, for the podcast, for the presentation, how that's going to look, how to get these things in alignment, working on my funnels, working on my courses, working on my academy, working on all of those types of things. If I'm working on all that, I ain't worried about no man. And I'm very cautious of the people that I align myself with in partnership because I've done that before. And I've had people come into my life that tried to partner with me, that they tried to undermine my authority for the thing that I was doing. When I'm doing something for you, that's one thing. But when you're coming in to do something for me, that's a completely different process. And people have come to me and tried to play mind games with me because they felt like, oh, I know more than she knows. So because I know more, then I'm going to play with her brain. I don't play that. I will work by myself before I allow you to try and mess with my head. Come to me authentically. Come to me correctly. That's where my headspace is. And if we as women are walking in the fullness of who we are, the way that we are supposed to operate in the fullness of that thing, then we will see the manifestation of the things that we're supposed to be seeing. Because when you focus, and I've heard a ton of Christian women say this, that in the season that you're called to walk with someone else, as long as you are focused on the area you're supposed to walk into, that person is going to slowly come up. And next thing you know, they're going to be there. You ain't even going to know where they came from because your focus was on making sure that you was focused on the thing that you should have been focused on, not on the fact, I'm not dating nobody this season. I ain't got nobody this season. Yes, society tells me I should be in a relationship. Yes, I should give all my energy to another human being. I'm not a feminist. I'm not one to say, go out here and you can do bad all by yourself. No. We do, at a particular point, need the assistance and collaboration of a relationship, whether it be a business partnership, friendship, or partner in marriage. But we must walk in alignment with the focus and the identity of what it is that we are focused on, because who you bringing in needs to know what they coming into. If you don't have a focus, you ain't got no identity. You ain't got you have no direction for your life. What are they adding to? What are you adding to them? Which brings me to the next video.
You bad, you beautiful, you are all of those things. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be connected to somebody, you got to add intentional value. You don't do anyone any services by just sitting up there looking good. You look good, but can you do more than that? I want to add value. I want to pray for you. I want to cover you. I want your dreams to become my dreams. I want my gifts and talents to be used to build what God is doing down on the inside of you. I'm here to serve your family. There is nothing more attractive than someone who comes into your life romantically, friendship-wise, family-wise, who says, I want to serve your family. Can you please tell me, where is the area where you don't have enough? That's the place where I want to take up space. Women today.
There you go. Understanding that. Because once you understand that you got to bring value to the table, meaning you have to have already identified what it is that you are focused on, what it is that you are seeking, what it is you're trying to develop, where you are going, how you're trying to get there, and you have to see they're coming to alongside you. They see the potential within you of where you're going. They see, oh, she got characteristics like this. She works like this. She operates like this. And what ends up happening is you end up drawing somebody to you that when they see you with that person, they're like, hold up, how she end up hooked up with him? Or vice versa. How he end up hooked up with her? Because you do not attract what looks good with you. Just because I got this afro and I'm looking all nice and stuff like that does not mean I'm going to be dating somebody that looks just like I look like. Sometimes you may end up with somebody that's a few steps ahead of you. They may be older than you, they may be younger than you, but they are in alignment with you. They may have their stuff all the way together. You still trying to get the stuff all the way together. But guess what? Somebody's going to look at them and then they're going to look at you and be like, how that happen? Because it's not about what y'all look like externally. It's about what's going on internally. Where's y'all focus? Can I add to your focus? Can you add to my focus? And can we operate together and move this thing forward? Which brings us back to what Tamira Mowry was saying, that beautiful cycle, that if we're adding together and we're walking together, we are operating and we're moving forward. Because I have an analogy. It's like a three-legged race. You have three legs. Your husband has a leg, you have a leg, and then you have the leg that is brought together by the two of you walking. If you bring that leg that the two of you are walking together and you walk forward, if you're walking forward and he's not in the same place that you are, or has no understanding of the step that you need to take, he's going to stand still. You're going to fall forward and flat on your face. In the reverse, you look at it, if he has an understanding and you don't, and he starts to move forward because of his tenacity, his body strength, his movement, he gonna pull you and drag you forward if you're not focused and in alignment. But if you both are in understanding and operating together with your faith in order and your focus in one, guess what? The three legs are going to operate together equally and in sequence, and your focus is going to be perfect. You can't be out here just marrying anybody. You can't be out here just dating anybody. That's why I have saved myself in dating for 10 years, because I know my focus and I've been working at it for 6. So understand me when I tell you that I have no time to waste playing around in relationships just because I feel lonely. It ain't about being lonely, dear. It's about walking in alignment and knowing that the person you're walking with is the person that's supposed to be walking next to you. Because if you're walking with somebody that isn't supposed to be walking next to you, they will either have you fall flat on your face because they're not in alignment and they don't understand it, because it's a saying in the Bible that goes that if you are unequally yoked, two people cannot walk together unless they agree. You can't walk together. You're either going to fall flat on your face or be dragged. Which one do you want? And if you want neither, you better get into the alignment so that you can work in a beautiful symphony, so that you are operating in focus together. Otherwise, that person don't need to be there. I was listening to Steve Harvey the other day, and it was a clip where he was saying, if you're not adding to me and you're not helping me, you got to go. Because in a season when you're trying to move forward, I ain't got time. You don't got time, they ain't got time. But if a person sees value in you, they will make the time. Because I was listening to a clip somewhere the other day, and they were talking about the person that answers your text message immediately and the person that waits. It shows the value that you have to that person. That if they make sure to get back to you because they see the value in having you in their life, whether it's a business partner, a friend, or your marriage, whatever it is, whatever your focus is, that they see, they know that you ain't got time. They don't have time. We are walking in a world that what happened in 2020 shows us we don't got time. Walk clearly, walk focused. Know where you're going, because if you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there. Yes, you can keep walking, but you can walk in circles, you can walk in the wrong direction, and you'll end up delayed and have to get back in alignment. And that just takes more time away from you getting to the end goal. Do you want to be that person that waits 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 years to get to your end goal when you could have gotten there a whole lot quicker, much like the people in the Bible that they had walked 40 years around the desert when in a famine that they could have ended if they walked in the right direction in 11 days. Don't get distracted in this season by people, relationships, things that are not important. If you have a goal, write your goals down, write the vision and make it plain. My coach was saying this the other day on the prayer call. Write the vision and make it plain, because when the runners come, they will run towards that thing. Though it may tarry, wait for it, because when it speaks, it's going to talk more than you will ever have to. There are things that I don't talk about because I know that when it's done, it's going to say everything it needs to say. Where is your focus? Because once you know that focus, you will walk in that focus. So I'm not going to belabor this anymore. That was my point for today. I don't know whether I'm going to upload this for a podcast. I don't even know if I can, because I added those audio clips. But I'll have to see. We'll see what I'll do with it. I might just add the snippets of me talking. But this is Taj McCameron for Seem to Live the Dream. I hope you loved this first episode. Until next time, love, faith, peace, and blessings.